That's why I'm doing it now.
You're live. All right, we are live. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hopefully you made it to your destination safe and sound. Boy, it is a little icy out there.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I know you had a little issue getting in this morning.
Yeah, so we are live here at Sportamotive. We had a viewer reach out, Jay Outdoor, reach out to us on our Instagram page when I asked a question a couple weeks ago. Let's talk about ATVs, UTVs, and I'm like, man, what a better place to come than Sportamotive here in Appleton.
Yeah, we've got a few of them in stock right now, so that's always a good sign.
It is a good sign.
Anything from your recreational trail riding units to high-performance trail riding units to your standard utility ice fishing models.
Yep. So this recognizable face right here is BJ Dorschner. BJ is the man here at Sportamotive, right? Can I say that with all your employees around, or your counterparts?
With nobody here.
With nobody here. So BJ is a familiar face. You've seen him on Head to Head. You've seen him on a bunch of the Real Shot stuff. And so I figured BJ's got all the knowledge on ATV stuff. So if you have any questions, remember we are on Facebook, YouTube, and Fixed TV platform. Fire them in the chat. I'll bring up Facebook here. Andy is monitoring YouTube and Facebook, Fixed TV. But what are we sitting in now? We got it loaded down with salt and sand, right? So we can go rescue all those people that are stuck in the roads today.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, which one are we in right here?
So this is the 570 SP. It's a mid-size unit. Saying a mid-size, they don't make anything smaller than this one. It's a two-person Ranger, so it is narrower than the standard three-person 570 cc engine on it. Plenty of power to do really anything that you want it to do. This has the power steering on it, so easy if you're plowing. It's going to be easier to turn the wheel.
So this is like the perfect one for like the farmer or just a regular homeowner that wants some kind of use to this. It's got. Does this a dump box on the back?
It has a full dump box on the back. Great for ice fishing.
Yep.
Because it is a little bit smaller. Great for getting through the woods, deer hunting. You don't need as wide of a path to get through as you do the full size.
And it's got. I mean, we'll get some of this footage here a little bit later on, but it's got a lot of like features on the inside too. Doesn't it? Not as much as some of the higher end we'll show.
Right. This is going to have your full gauge cluster with speed and tack and temperature. It'll have 12-volt outlets in here, so you can charge your phone. You can have a spotlight on it. Saying spotlight, a lot of times we do light bars on these things, so you can see a mile down the road.
And you guys do all that right here at Sporto, right?
Yep. So most of these units will come in plain Jane. And we will add any accessories that customers want.
Okay.
The only accessory that we can't install here is going to be the air conditioning, which is going to be a factory install, and that's only on our high-end full-size models.
What? Air conditioning in these things?
Air conditioning.
Not this one, but some of the other ones.
Yep,
we'll show a
so
little
the
bit.
full sizes, we can have them with air conditioning in them. These we can add heaters to them.
Okay.
Hopefully the guys in the shop aren't listening because they are a pain to install. But yes, we will install heaters on.
So that part you guys can do right here at Sportamotive.
Yes. Yep,
okay.
we can do the heaters.
So this one here, unfortunately, is spoken for, right?
Yep. So this is actually a raffle item for Sturgeon for Tomorrow. They'll be holding a raffle March 4th, I believe the date is.
Yeah.
And
we got a lot of the information right here.
Yep.
The grand prize, yeah. I can hold it up here. I don't know if Scott, here we can see that. We want to kind of have it down low. I don't know. Can you see that? We can kind of read off of it. Well, that's pretty cool. So like they purchased this one from Sportamotive. Only 750 tickets available for this bad boy.
Correct.
So you got a really good chance of winning this thing.
For $40 a ticket, so that's pretty cheap if you win it.
Right.
Especially if you only buy one ticket.
What does a model like this retail for?
Now you're putting me on the spot on that one. I want to say this one's right around 13 and a half.
And that's pretty reasonable as an introductory style.
Yep, they do make one that is one step less than this one as well.
Okay.
It starts a little bit cheaper.
So you said if we're talking, let's just start, it is ice fishing season, depending on where the heck you live in the state.
With the beautiful rain we're getting
right now. Melting all the ice as we speak. But like, what kind of ice fishing, I don't know if that's a package or whatever, could you do to this unit that we're in right here?
So this a lot of guys will do a windshield, a roof, a rear panel. We can do doors if you want to do doors. Personally, I don't like doors for ice fishing because if something does happen, heaven forbid, I'd like to be able to
Get out. Yep.
But a lot of guys will like doors. We got cargo boxes that fit in the back of the boxes. Different auger racks that it's made by different companies. There's so many of them out there. We can usually order them in, and it's a day or two to get them. So, there's a pile of options. Light bars, tracks, if you want to put tracks on.
Oh, really?
It's for, up north mainly, you're getting a lot more snow than what we're getting here.
Yep.
You can get the tracks on it, and you can go through more on this than you would on a snowmobile.
Right.
Because you're going to have so much more flotation.
What, I know you like it when I put you in a spot. What does this unit roughly weigh?
I would have to look up the spec. I don't remember off the top of my head. I want to say it was like 1,500 pounds.
Okay. Top end speeds on this one that we're in?
Probably right around that 40 mile an hour, 45.
Well, that's plenty fast enough.
Yep.
Especially with a lot of roads in Wisconsin now getting opened up to ATV, UTV use.
Yep, and that all depends on your village or township.
Yes.
And they set the rules as far as how all that stuff goes.
Right.
We do get that call a lot. Well, what do I need to make it legal for the roads? Well, in Polaris's eyes, there is no technical legal way to do it. Call your local town hall, and they can tell you exactly what you need to do.
Yeah, that's one thing when we got this question from Jay. He's like, well, I need to know some of the rules. Well, Jay, the easiest thing for that is to contact your DNR. If you're in the state of Wisconsin, contact the DNR.
Yep.
But then also, the DNR will sometimes, like you said, refer you to, the municipalities. And
correct.
Every county may be different.
Depending on, so for the 2-up riding rule, you do have to have a 2-up machine built for 2 people.
Yep.
Either it be an ATV, side-by-side, whatever it be, but that has to be made specifically from the manufacturer for 2 people.
For 2 people. See, now this one, baby, this is nice one here.
We can go for
we can go for a little joyride.
Yep. So yeah, something like this, yes, you can easily take 2 people, jump up into our full-size unit, and we can go 3 people. And then they do make crew cabs, which is either 4 people in the midsize, so it's another seat behind it.
Yep.
But you don't lose your cargo box. You still get your cargo box.
The full cargo box in
yes.
too? Really?
Yep. So it's just stretched out that much further.
Really?
And then same with the 3-seater, you can go to a 6-seater with the full cargo box as well.
So by working here, which one do you get to use all the time to go fishing with?
I actually just bought a used one.
Did you really?
I did.
Nice. How often does that come in? Because I know, maybe some people don't know that you guys deal with used stuff.
We do deal with used stuff. It's been very rare that we've gotten something in for used. Not to say that it doesn't happen, but I mean, I have maybe could count on a hand of how many used side-by-sides we've taken in on trade in the last few years.
Is that because people sell them outright, or they just don't get rid of them?
Yes.
All the above.
So either, they know somebody that already, hey, if you're going to get rid of it, I want it, or they keep it because they're going to upgrade to something else and they want to have a beater for doing their yard work and keep one nice for, your trail riding or ice fishing or whatever like that.
Now, here's a silly question. I got to make sure. Dry weight of the unit is 1,200 pounds, says Bob Kloss. So,
well, thank you, Bob.
I think Bob, are you running these, Bobby? I think he might be running something like this.
I'm not sure.
He's got, for his whitefish business, they run 3/4 or something like this.
Okay.
But 4-wheel drive in this thing, is it auto 4 or is it push button?
So the cool part about all the Polaris stuff, side-by-sides, is they run 3 different modes for their drivetrain. It's either going to be a unlocked rear end. So if you're doing yard work, it's not going to tear up your yard.
After Taco Bell, sometimes I got to unlock rear end.
Right, exactly. Oh, man. I should expect nothing less than that from Mr. Trotzy.
Can you come back from that one? You better put her in 4 high, buddy, and you're spinning.
So the other thing, when you have the unlocked rear end, you can turn a lot sharper also.
Gotcha.
So if you're in tight spots in the woods and you don't need 4-wheel drive, you can flip it in there and you can turn a lot sharper.
Yep.
And then we do have a locked two-wheel drive, So it locks the rear end up. So after you eat all your cheese curds, you're going to have your rear end locked up.
You get bound up, little high fiber bars.
And then it's going to be a true, they call it all-wheel drive system. So what it is as soon as it senses that the rear end starts to slip, it kicks power to the front wheels.
Nice.
It's virtually the same technology that players have been using since '96.
Okay.
But they've improved it since then,
Gotcha.
obviously with changes. But it's the same idea of what's going on inside the front gear case to engage it.
Got ya.
And it is, so you're driving down the road and you're in four-wheel drive. Well, you're not in four-wheel drive because your rear end didn't start to slip yet. And it is so seamless that you won't recognize that it starts to slip unless you physically have one person driving it and one person watching that
Really?
wheel with it being marked. I've been to many trainings, and what they do is they'll actually put these up on rollers, and they'll have somebody driving it, and they'll mark the tire, and it's if you're not watching it, I mean, it barely moves, and it's kicking in that four-wheel drive.
Really?
Yep.
That's really nice.
So it kicks it in and out as you need it, with the benefit of it actually being true all-wheel drive, so all four wheels have power to it.
So is that on all the four-wheel drive units?
Yes. Yep. All our four-wheel drive units are set up the same. They may not have the unlocked and locked rear end, depending on which model you go with. But yes, the four-wheel drive is virtually the same across the board in all of the Polaris all-wheel drive models.
Okay. That's really nice. I mean, it's just crazy how far like the technology has come in these things.
Yep.
Because like you said, like this unit here is kind of the base Jane model, but like you can get them with GPS and you can get them with all kinds of fancy.
GPS, they make what they call Polaris Ride Command, and you can actually, if you're going trail riding with a group or out ice fishing with a group and one guy takes off a different direction, if everybody has that, you can actually locate where the other person is.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, that's really, really nice.
If a guy takes off ice fishing, as long as he's got it on there, you can be like, that's where he went. All right.
What about, so speaking, I'm glad you
But it has to be linked up.
It's got to be linked.
You can't
right,
just
like,
drive along and be like, oh, I want to link to that guy.
I want to go, yeah.
You have to communicate
He's got
together.
to accept your friend request in order to
Basically.
link it up.
Correct.
What about, like, can you put graphs in some of these? Meaning, like, you know, we're talking about the live scope and things like that.
So actually, that's what I did on mine. Is I mounted a RAM base on the hood or on the dash, and I put a 9-inch Garmin up here just for mapping, and that has everything. And I didn't use it just for ice fishing. I'm using it for hunting as well. You know, so I know where I'm going down the trails, so I know which way.
Yeah, where your stand is and everything.
Yep.
Now, could you mount it though, like with your actual live scope, where you could just drop your deucer off the side and fish right off the side of these things?
You could have just your head unit here and mount your black box somewhere for the live scope. Most guys will leave it in the bag and just kind of set it right between us here, and or on the floor or up here.
Yep.
But yeah, we've seen a lot of different options as far as what people do as far as the live scope stuff goes. Personally, I like to have two separate units, so I'm not flipping between screens, and
just kind of
just everything is right there, and I just plop it in and go.
So with the ratings, what do we say this thing is? 1,200 or 1,600 pounds, roughly to 1,900 pounds, maybe with the gear in it, somewhere around there. Like, what is it still like the safe ice is 6 to 8 inches width? You would feel comfortable taking this thing out on?
Me personally, I like to say 8 to 10. I know guys will go out in less, but that's just me personally. Best thing to do is check with your local bait shops and stuff to see what the conditions are like. You know, with the weather that we've been having all winter, fall, it's been so inconsistent. You know, we don't know what it's doing out there. So.
Well, like Don Herman always says too, and everybody. I mean, no ice is always safe ice.
Correct.
Right. You got to trudge at your own.
Correct. And especially like Winnebago. I mean, that ice moves around all the time. You got to be paying attention. Up on the bay, you got to be paying attention to wind direction. Otherwise, that ice can pull out, and it doesn't matter what you have, you're stranded.
What about like E units? Are they making E units in these things
so
too now?
They do have some electric vehicles. They've been offering them for quite a while now. We don't sell a lot of them, but we do sell maybe 1 or 2 a year.
Okay.
And they are, in my opinion, really weird to drive because there is no engine sound whatsoever.
Yeah.
So you flip a button, turn it on, and you hit the gas and you go, and you're waiting for that engine to rev up, and there's nothing there.
Is it that way for like the cars too? Like where you hit your gas or your accelerator and you're gone? Like
Yeah,
it's just snap back.
The torque in them is unbelievable.
Really?
Yep.
But is it just you don't sell a lot just because the people aren't up to that technology, or is it just a little more things you have to do in order to charge them?
Well, the new ones are really simple. It's basically you just plug it in and it charge. You know, it's got the charger built into the unit. It's just I don't think the ATV UTV world is quite fully to that electric stage yet. You know, you're out in the woods and it does die. Well, now you gotta either tow it back or get a generator to charge it up or whatever to get it at least back. Where this, you put gas in it and you go.
Is there diesel units too, or just all gas?
They did make diesel. I'd have to see if the diesel is still in the lineup. I believe it is.
Okay.
So
yeah,
we never sold. I don't think we've ever sold a diesel unit. It's more your agriculture guys are looking at those because they have diesel on the farms.
Yeah, yep,
already.
Off-road. So Bob is saying, I mean, like Bob, we mentioned, is a big ice fisherman up on the bay, and he said, like you were mentioning before, the number one recommendation from Bob is have a GPS of some kind in it, especially if you're fishing the bigger lakes.
Yep. Not only is it going to get you back to your landing, but you can also mark waypoints of where you're trying to fish. You can mark, hey, there's a open spot here. You can mark that so you know not to go into that area. Can
you take chips from your boat and put them into that unit the same way?
Yep. So yeah, if you're running a Lowrance in your boat and you want a Lowrance in here, or Garmin or Humminbird or whatever you want to run, yeah, you can take the chip out of there, plop it in, and it'll give you all your same contours, all your waypoints, everything that you have in your boat can come right to here.
Wow, that's really nice. So again, this one's spoken for, but you have more of this model, or you can get more of this?
I have another one of these in the stock green color here right now, and then I do have a bunch of full-size models here right now as well, and a few ATVs.
So I know Scotty needs a little heads up. I think we could walk around a little bit, Scott. I mean,
one question.
Yeah.
What if I want to enclose this thing?
Yep, they make full windshields, roof, rear panels, and doors. And then you can put heat in there. Normally, if a guy does that, he's adding heat to it as well. Okay. And the heat does have a defroster, so it'll defrost your windows. Windshield wipers, they make that with washer kits. So just like your vehicle, you hit the button and the spray comes out and you can clean your window.
And again, that's all stuff you guys can do here minus air conditioning,
Correct.
which is not in this model. It's in some of the other models.
In the full-size models, yep. I don't have any of those here currently.
So we're getting some great comments. Again, if you have any comments, drop them in. I'm monitoring Facebook. Andy's on YouTube and also Fix TV. So if there's any comments, and there is a little bit of a delay between what Andy tells us and so on and so forth, but Andrew does want to know, he says, I'd love to learn more about that Razor Pro XP Sport.
Okay.
So when we get to which one was that? That was that one?
So we got a Pro XP right here, next to us.
Okay, so we can get what's going to happen is Scott's going to bring the camera off the tripod, and then we're going to kind of walk around and look at some of these other models. But again, this one here is Sturgeon. Just reach out to Sturgeons for tomorrow. They have some information out there, I'm sure, on their website, or you can call Sportomotive too if you're interested in what the raffle is all about.
We do have tickets here as well.
Okay, perfect. So if you're interested in this unit, obviously they have stuff for like this for sale, or they can get you things like this, but you can also get your chance by Sturgeons for tomorrow to win this unit. And then again, Bob just saying, with what we were mentioning before with the GPS, he watches way too many people not be able to find the landing they left from.
Yep.
So that's one thing that is probably overlooked.
It's very easy to get turned around.
Yes.
Especially when you're drilling holes, you're looking down a hole, you're turning, and you look up and you're far enough away from any shorelines that everything looks the same.
Yep. Well, and they haven't, especially now where, conditions on Bago are supposed to be ATV usage, right?
Yep.
Again, trudge at your own safety,
Correct.
but they don't have tree lines out. Some bridges may not out yet. So it's just really, that to me is like, if you're here and you're going to spend the money, just if you have the unit or don't have the unit, talk to BJ and the crew here. They'll help you get a GPS
Yep, we can do that too for ice.
Or get the models that have it built right in.
Well, that would, yes, you could do that.
You could do that.
Yep. It won't have your lake contours like your normal GPS would have, though.
Right, but it'll have like where you
Yeah, it'll have like your trail where you went,
and so on and so forth. So
Yep.
yeah, well, and that's a big too. Like Gary's saying, I've been out on Lake Winnebago in a tuber van.
Yep.
And a freak snowstorm hit. We could hardly find our way back. Plus, when the radiator goes on that thing, and you're like you're stuck. You know, it's you're like you just got to hope and pray that you find a tree line at some point to get your tail back to the shore.
Well, it was no different than a lot of guys fished that Battle on Bago last year, and
that was
that
nasty.
Friday that snow squall came through. I mean, I just got home when it hit, and I couldn't believe it. Like, you couldn't see 2 feet in front of you.
No, I was driving home during when that hit, and it was. I thought this morning's ride was sketchy.
Yep.
That was even worse.
Yep. And the cool part is you can zoom all the way in on that GPS and follow your track. Versus, you want to zoom in. If you're zoomed out, it'll look like you're on your track, but you could be off 50 yards.
Well, think about that
make
too. When you're up north on some of those big public land tracks up there, and some of those big woods.
Yep.
You get turned around, that's a scary thing. You only have so much gas or whatever the heck it is with you.
Right.
Now, was it this unit too, back to kind of ice fishing talk, you said a full ice auger will lay down here?
The full-size units.
Full-size units.
I can lay my eye on across the back end of it.
But you could put, now you mentioned like an auger rack, would you put it back here or up here?
It's all personal preference. We've done them where it's off the front bumper. We've done them where it goes into the back. So, and when we walk around, we can show this, but there's holes around the rail on the boxes.
Yep.
And that's for all different accessories. They make they call it lock and ride, and you can get all sorts of accessories that go in there. You flip it down, and it's locked in, and it's all quick detach and install stuff. So
nice.
You can do ice auger racks right onto there as well.
So, Scotty, let's go ahead and walk around a little bit here. So when Scott pulls that camera off, then we'll get walking around, and I think we'll show people what the inside of this one looks like.
Yep.
And then we can kind of bounce to other units that are right around us. Plus, I mean, if anybody does have questions, they have snowmobiles here, so we can look at some of the snowmobiles. Still a pretty decent selection of boats for this time of year.
We've got boats.
We got the boats.
We got boats. Boat show's coming up end of February down at EAA in Oshkosh.
That's crazy. That's that soon already.
We will be starting to get boats ready for that.
And now's a good time, too, if you want upgrades to get it in now before the season gets here for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, so Scotty, you want to come around maybe BJ's side, and then he can kind of show you what we were looking at here with this unit. Again, so just remind people, BJ, what was the unit we're just sitting in?
This is a 570 SP.
Okay. So Scott's giving you kind of the front look. I like this gray color, too. That's pretty sharp looking.
Yep, very sharp. Gets away from your traditional, red and greens of what we always had in the past.
And so you could put a tow winch on the front of this thing, too?
Yep, you can put winches on all our units.
Nice. All right, so as we kind of come around this side, and I'm just going to let BJ, do you want me out of here, Scotty? Would that be better?
That's fine, buddy.
Okay, so this is like what a plain Jane kind of looks like.
This is the new model last year. Like he's opening up all different plugs.
This one's got to be tricky.
That's going to be a battery charger plug-in. So if you have a battery tender, you take it, you plug it in, and it charges your battery for you, just like an onboard charger on your boat.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty nice.
Another plug-in here, just a receptacle. And this one, I believe, is USB.
USB. Yep. This one doesn't have speakers or anything, right?
No.
Is that something you can add to this one?
Yes, you can add a radio to it.
There's a glove box for all your stuff, too. There's a lot of storage.
There's a lot of storage all there. And you can't drive in Wisconsin without a cup holder for your water.
Yeah, and this one actually has 2 cup holders, 2 sets of cup holders. So there's one there and one up here. That's very important.
For your bottles of water.
Bottles of sodas.
Yes.
Now, we're not condoning anything that's naughty.
No. Waters and sodas.
Yes. So it's pretty nice. I like this. And there's that 4-wheel drive you were talking about, right?
So you click it all the way down. That'll be the one-wheel unlock rear end. Matt on tacos. Center will be locked rear end, Matt with cheese curds.
Cheese curds.
And all-wheel drive.
Yep.
So we can do tire chains as well. We do sell quite a few tire chains.
Really?
Yep. Obviously, there's not much snow on the lakes right now. It's more slippery than anything.
Yep.
Tire chains do wonders. You can go through a lot more with that than you would with just the rubber tires.
Can you spike the tires on these things?
Yeah.
Can you put?
You can put studs in them. We don't do a lot of studs. We used to do a lot of studs. Usually if you do studs, I recommend having 2 sets of tires.
Yeah.
One with your studded set and one without. You drive on concrete once with your studs, they're going to lose pretty much all of their sharpness to them.
Really?
So you'll still have some traction, but it's not going to be like it is when they're never been driven on.
What about tracks? Those you can take anywhere, right? Those you can, like, if you had to drive on the road for a little bit, is that just you got to check again?
You can. They do want you to have some sort of lubricant on them, but for the most part, yes, you can drive down the blacktop road if you had to for a little while to get to the lake.
Yep.
A lot of things that are overlooked on those is they are made for marshy areas, wet areas. So you have deer hunting land that your swamp, that's going to get you through that swamp more than tires would.
Do those float a little bit better too?
Yep, you'll get a lot more flotation out of your unit, so you're not going to just bury it and get sink right away.
Okay.
Can you stud those tracks too?
You can.
Stud the treads?
Yep.
Wow. There's just no end to what you can do with some of this stuff. That's crazy.
I've only ever seen one other guy stud tracks. I don't know if it was just not necessary or what. I know they do slip on ice, but there again, you do have such a big footprint that I think that helps.
That helps you out a lot more.
Yeah.
What about lights in these things? Are they all LED lights for most part in models like this?
Most of them are not LEDs.
They're not LEDs. That's an upgrade or something?
On some of our higher end models, you can do LEDs. The light bars that we add are all LEDs.
LEDs, okay.
Yes.
All right, well, I'm going to pop out, Scott. We can kind of look at the back since that's where most of the accessories that BJ wants to talk about will be on here. So, like, I know a lot of people, these are almost like made in rod holders, right? You can set ice rods
Yeah, you
in
could,
there.
but these are the holes I was talking about that are for the lock and ride stuff.
Yep.
So it's just a quick flip, and they lock in. Like on this model here, we have a cargo boxes in there, and they're huge cargo boxes to put stuff.
Yep.
Cool thing, if you look in the box here,
Okay, you see this, Scott?
5-gallon bucket holders. So it's actually recessed for your bucket to sit in there, and then you can put your 2x4 along here to stop it from sliding around as well.
That's crazy. It's molded right into there.
Yep.
And plus there's nice tie downs.
Tie downs in all the corners.
Yep. Can you, if you wanted to, this is what, plastic, can you rhino line something like this, or there's really no need the way it's set up?
I don't really know of a reason to have to do that because it is a composite.
Yep.
You could put like a bed mat type of thing in there if you wanted to stop stuff from sliding around. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, it is fairly, it's got a texture to it, but it is still slippery.
Yep.
I've seen players used to offer a full cap for them, like a pickup truck cap. There's a lot of aftermarket companies that are offering that now for ice fishing as well. So, I mean, possibilities are endless of what guys are doing with these things for ice fishing.
So again, remember, they have stuff like this available. You guys finance here too, right?
Yep.
Somebody wants to
financing.
finance something,
Yep.
you can work through Sport and Motive for that. Now let's get into some of those. So I think Andy was asking about that model, right?
That little guy there.
Yeah, let's follow BJ over to that one. Now we're getting into that high-end world, right?
So this is getting to your high-end trail riding performance model. This is a turbo. So yes, this engine has a turbo on it, so you're going to get to your ice fishing spot even faster.
So if this model that we just looked at went about 40, what does this model go to? Or how fast? Oh,
I'd have to check the specs on
now
that.
you better know your stuff. The boss is here.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't remember exactly what the specs are on the... Do you remember top speed on the Pro XP?
From experience.
80? Really? So he's saying about 100 miles an hour. That's fast.
That's fast enough for
That's
you, ain't it?
fast.
You should be able to get to your fishing spot in by
Real quick. So now with this model here, I mean, you can look in the cockpit here, a little more bucket seats, a little more luxurious ride.
Yep. It's got a handle for your
Yes.
partner to hang on to.
That's that old poop handle.
If you're and I are going for a ride, I'd be sitting over there.
Yeah, of course.
OS handle is what they call them.
OS handles? Oh, snap.
Andy couldn't figure out how to get into this. How to get into it.
Oh, snap handles.
Oh, right there.
Oh, look at how easy. So you
It's
got to
that
know
simple.
somebody.
You
got to
gotta
know.
See, if you just ask.
But now,
Yep.
like with that model here, you can't do tracks on these. You have to be like independent tracks, or you still could.
Not on. I don't believe they make them for the XPs.
Okay, you shouldn't. Really.
It's not really designed for it. Tracks are more so designed utility. You do lose a lot of speed being on tracks, but you're going to gain your flotation. They're not made to go fast.
Right.
Generals we can do it, which is an in between this and the Ranger, like we were just sitting in. You can add tracks to those, but you want to make sure that when you are using tracks, you are in low range.
Low range.
If you're in high range, you're going to start eating belts because it is so much more stuff that you're trying to rotate.
So now, everything for this one, is that mostly on the dash, or where's like the four-wheel drive and everything it needs?
So your base gauge is there, but the four-wheel drive switches should be on that
Yeah,
side
if you want to
there.
go over there and show him.
Toggle switches right here. Four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, and then lights. Key switch in the middle.
Gosh, there's
How many drink holders does this one have?
Two.
two.
It's like it's made for Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to see a unit that's made for Wisconsin, we need to take a couple more steps back to the XP
All right,
Ranger.
let's go look at that one. Because, yeah, this is, so, again, this is, the what unit was this one again?
This is the Pro XP Razor Turbo.
So this is more for not so much a workhorse, but
Nope.
more of a trail ride.
riding, high performance, getting across the lake as fast as you possibly can.
Right, donuts. And you can do the same thing with this, right? Can you cockpit this one all in?
Yep, you can fully enclose these as well.
Nice. All right, go to that one you were talking about here. Scott, does this get you excited?
It reminds me of Brandon.
So this is going to be the XP 1000. This is probably, between this and our standard 1000, are probably our two most popular sellers.
Okay.
It is a three-seater. 3 people can sit in it. 4-wheel drive mode, 2-wheel drive mode, 1-wheel drive mode.
You say one-wheel drive mode?
1-wheel drive, so it is matte on Taco Bell.
Yep. The
Loose
three
rear
round
end.
slips.
Mad on just one taco?
Just one taco.
One taco.
I like this color too. This color is sharp.
Yep. Bronson Rock.
That's a really cool looking color.
The XPs also offer 3 different modes for throttle position. So what that does is
You want to go around, Scotty, and
I can
get a
show
shot
you
in the
here.
inside here?
Yeah, maybe go on that side.
You're clear. You're not going to step on any tires or nothing.
So right here, there's work mode, standard mode, and performance mode. So if you're all the way down in work mode, what you have to do is actually apply more throttle to get it to move than you would if you're in standard or performance mode. So it's going to take a lot of the jerkiness out of it if just barely touching the throttle.
Yep.
Standard mode is going to be little less throttle to get going, and then the performance mode is even less yet, and you're going to get going. You'll be able to go faster.
Are those on the fly, or do you have to be like in park or neutral?
I would recommend being in not necessarily park or neutral, but at a standstill.
At a standstill before you just go flipping buttons?
Yep. I mean, there are safety stuff, in place for all that stuff. If you do flip something on the go that you shouldn't, 4-wheel drive, you can do it. I still like to tell people, stop and then flip it.
Yeah, so before you go through something that you think you need 4-wheel drive,
Yep.
stop short of that spot and
Yep,
activate
stop.
it first.
You can, like I said, you can flip the 4-wheel drive on the go if you're cruising down like a blacktop road or gravel road or something like that, but you still have to let off the gas before it will engage.
Okay. And again, like a lot of the same thing, but now this one has the windshield.
This has
in it
windshield,
already?
roof, and rear panel on it.
Okay.
So those are all accessories. Storage, once again, you got a glove box with an upper glove box. Just pull up.
Oh, gotta be strong, BJ. You do it. I don't still want to break something. I don't feel like buying an ATV today because I broke something. There you go. Man hands.
So
There's a cup holder here too, Scott, just so you know if you're looking for something.
cup holder, cup holders,
Cup holders?
cup holders, cup holder.
You got one over there too?
Hold on. Cup holder. Cup holder.
I can
want
see
you to
why
stay
you said-
hydrated.
This is the one you said would be a good Wisconsin unit.
Correct. They want you to stay hydrated.
Yeah, very
Lots of
important.
water.
Wow, this is a nice one. Really nice too.
Now, I don't see the 5-gallon pail inserts in the back, but I do see some kind of, it's like
Yep.
some raised areas, some bosses.
So yeah, so you still have here are for the 5-gallon buckets. You can see just a little bit of a raised edge there, and then up here will be also contoured for a bucket to fit in.
Very nice. Is that a newer design rather than the other one? Just depends on the model.
Just depends on the model. If you turn around, that Ranger right behind you has one of the cargo boxes in that I was talking about. And all these boxes do dump other than the Razor. Huge cargo box, you can fit all sorts of tackle in there. And I don't know, it's just 2 flips of a lever.
What about, does mile per
And
gallon
it'll come right out.
really matter for ATV use, or like what does one typically get?
Honestly, they don't give you any specs on that because it varies so much
On how-
depending on terrain and all that type of thing. Okay.
Yep, more couple. And the tailgate folds down back here too. A lot of tie
Yep.
downs. You gotta pull the handle on it.
Shouldn't have to. No, you broke it.
I'm breaking all kinds of stuff. That's why you never let me play with things like this.
Did you say Gary, Andy? We have a question. If you have a full crew model.
Yeah, so Gary Clone wants to know, do you have a full crew model?
I do have a Crew Cab 1000 outside in white. So that'd be a 6-seater.
Really?
Yep.
How many cup holders in that one?
All of
Say
them.
one.
Oh, it's all 12. All 12 or 18, depending on what you're hauling. But that's, I mean, this is a really nice unit
Yep.
here. This is really nice. I think this is, you know,
Yep. This is kind of your baseline 1000 full-size
yep.
unit.
What, now, what is this little cute little guy right here? This is another Razor.
So this will be another Razor. It's your more trail riding, not quite as high performance as what the Pro XPs are, a little different suspension to it. This is a 1000cc unit as well.
Dang. So this sucker will go fast too.
Yep.
What about maintenance? Like off-season maintenance, standard oil changes, all that kind of stuff. Is it pretty easy?
So what Polaris recommends is every 100 hours or once a year to have your fluids changed on them.
Okay.
So gear cases, engine oil, you know, grease it up periodically throughout the season. You know, the gear cases and stuff are a lot smaller than they are in your pickup truck, so they hold a lot less fluid. That's why you need to change it more often than in your pickup truck.
Okay.
The other thing, you're driving this thing way harder than you're ever going to drive your pickup truck.
Yep.
And that's just because it is what it is.
Yep.
So you want to change those fluids out at least once a year. And for break-in, they recommend, so if you buy that unit new, you want to change it once within a couple months after 25 hours, and then change it again at 100 hours or once a year.
And
after
again,
that.
just bring it to
Bring it
Sport
right
Oil.
here
You
and
guys
we'll
can
take
do
care
all
of
that
it.
stuff.
Yep.
Nice.
We'll do what needs to be done, and you don't have to worry about it. And then the other cool part is if we do find something when it's under warranty, hey, we'll get it covered under warranty for you. If we find something and you're out of warranty, we'll give you a call, let you know if you want it taken care of or not. So
What is typical warranties on ATV?
So depending on ATV, UTV, some of them are up to a year. Most base models are 6-month warranty.
6 months.
Yep,
Okay.
and
Can
that's-
you buy extended?
You can definitely buy extended warranties on out to I think 6 years, 7 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can go out a ways.
Which is, if you're like you said, if you're going to use it like you want to use
Right.
it, it's probably not a bad idea to
Right.
upgrade that
Yep.
warranty.
Yep.
Just
Does that warranty include if I want to go racing with it?
I don't believe so.
manufacture. So
It will be on manufacturer defects.
not,
Not driver defect.
Not driver defects is what you call insurance companies for.
Can you do upgrades to like motors and things like that with these, or like fancy pipes or anything?
You can. We don't do any of that stuff here.
Okay.
You start doing pipes and stuff, that's going to be more of your track, track stuff, racing stuff. Not legal for
what about
lakes and stuff.
like? Okay, so one thing that you and I talked about a little bit yesterday is like snorkels or whatever like that. Like,
So,
do you need that kind of stuff?
You
or?
don't need that if you're mud bogging, that type of thing, going through a lot of mud, and mud where it's above the floorboards. Yes, then they start recommending snorkels and stuff like that. And Polaris does offer those models as well.
Is that something you guys can do? Add snorkel kits here, or?
I haven't done it in quite a while. I'd have to look to see if we still have access to the stuff.
Okay.
But Polaris does offer what they call the high lifter editions, which have the snorkels and everything built into it, and it comes with a lift kit and big knobby tires. Not your typical trail riding machine.
Right.
It's going to be made specifically for going through mud and pretty much mud alone.
A lot of mud. Do you guys offer rim wheel upgrades too?
Yep,
if you wanted to.
We can get all different rims and tires and stuff like that you want to do. We don't do a lot of it anymore because their stuff is actually coming with a decent looking tire and rim.
Yep.
Compared to your standard steel rims that they used to always come with.
So on a standard vehicle, they recommend like a tire rotation after what? Every 7,000 miles? What is there tire rotation specs for a
So nothing on the UTVs, ATVs, because they are running two different size tires.
Oh, okay.
The fronts are different than the rears.
So it doesn't pay to rotate
No,
the rears?
and they're directional tires also.
Oh, okay. So,
So
when your
then-
tires are done, they're done. You just
They're
gotta
done, you buy
upgrade
new
them.
ones. Yep.
Okay.
And driving on the roads, they will wear out faster because they are designed for dirt, sand, mud, that type of thing, not pavement.
They're
Different compound? Different compound tires?
There's all different options for tires.
so you could
So
get like
you
a
could-
road only
You could
tire.
get a street tire if you wanted to.
Really?
Yep.
Nice. So we got a couple more to look at. Then when we kind of get over there too, Scott, there's a couple of snowmobiles. So if anybody has any questions on snowmobiles, you guys have some of those in stock.
We've got a few sleds in stock yet.
But we missed. There's two other units over here. So remember, if anybody has any questions, you can fire them in the chat. We'll monitor that. Yep. But I mean, I'm learning a lot. The biggest thing is if you're in the market for a new Polaris, come down to Sportomotive. They got some cool things, and not only are the units nice, but some of the accessories that we talked about for hunting. Like this unit over, was it that one's got some of the gun cases in it?
Yeah, it's got.
Yeah,
some of the
let's go over
guns
that
in
one
it.
here.
So this unit and that blue one are the exact same model. It's just we added stuff to this one and then added a windshield to that one.
Oh, okay.
So the only difference is the color, really, as far as the base model goes.
Don't trip on the rug, bro. That's pretty good. Hold that camera and not trip on her rug.
It's like he's done it in a boat before.
You're right.
No. If you buy this one, it comes with these gun cases. Are there guns in it for it?
That's where you'd have to go down to the real shot.
Yep.
And, what's the gun guy's name down there?
Andrew. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Steve retired.
Steve retired,
So
that's right.
Andrew is taking over.
Yep.
Yep.
So you have to go visit him, and he'll get you set up with a gun that'll fit in there for you.
So like this, is it go up here? Is that
So
where-
there's multiple different mounts. There'd be a mount that goes across the box, which I sold without the gun scabbards. And they'd mount something like this. They do make also mounts that fit in the center, inside the cab, that your guns mount to. They make them where they fit across the roof in the cabs. So all sorts of different things.
bow holders too? Do
They make bow holders as well. They make a gun case that actually straps to the back roll cage. That's actually what I have for mine, and you can actually slide two different guns in there.
So, like when this is up here, this is bolts down so nice, or wherever the heck you have it. There's not a lot of rattle.
It doesn't
to
move at all.
So that's really nice.
Yep. So you don't have to worry about your
zero.
scope or anything like that bouncing on you.
Yep. Wow. But this, so you said this unit and this unit are
Nope. The camo one that we just
Oh,
looked
the
at.
camo one,
Yep, are
okay.
the two. They're the same unit, just different color.
just different color.
And then this one doesn't have all the windshields or the roof and rear panels.
Yep. But these are just venting here then, right?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Another nice, really nice. And this color is really nice too. This is more like the
That's
Polaris
a
blue,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Kind of a darker blue. Huh.
You can add the winch to it yet. Plows.
Are all the plows based off like you got to have a winch in order to use a plow? Like where was that one? Oh, that's four-wheeler.
Four-wheelers, yes. UTVs, you can either do a hydraulic lift or you can do the winch lift. All depends on what you want to do, how much you want to spend.
Okay.
You can do boss plows on the front of these as well. We do that. We actually outsource it just across the street from us, but we can, you can bring your unit in that you have, or if you want to purchase a new one with a boss plow, we can do that with a big V plow and everything.
Yep. Wow, that's really nice. And then I think this is one of the last. Oh, they bring everybody out of retirement when the real shots here. This one's fancy. Like this looks like your bass boat or your walleye boat, BJ.
Right.
All sparkly it is.
All sparklies.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like sparkles?
Who doesn't? This is pretty cool though. It's got that brown interior.
Yep. So this is a General. This is in between the Razor and the Ranger. So it is still has the dump box in the back, but the seats and stuff are a lot more like the Razor, a little more comfortable. You know, it's a good 50-50 mix of utility and trail riding.
Yeah. Well, and this one here too, this has got speakers and stuff built right into it.
And this does have the GPS in here as well. If you look in the center.
Can you turn that on?
Yeah.
Here, I'll hold that door.
So the center screen there should.
Ooh, sweet. That was BJ driving.
That was a professional driver on a close course.
Oh, that wasn't you? You're a professional.
Professional something. So it gives you gauge and GPS.
Wow.
Nice.
And your stereo is all controlled through here as well.
So
you can link your phone up to it.
With all that stuff, like it's not touchscreen, right? So
yeah, it is.
Oh, it is? Does that have a little different warranty because it has that built right into it?
I would have to check on that.
Does it have Bluetooth?
Yes. So yeah, you can stream your music from your phone
right into this thing.
Yep.
This is a nice unit here. Look at that. It's even got drain ports on the bottom, so when you get over so much water.
Yep.
Or when you're washing it out.
When you're washing it out.
Right. Now, this one, not as many cup holders, though. It's kind of a disappointment.
Well,
for that hybrid unit.
You're right.
Yeah. What the heck? Little hard top on this one, too. This is nice. Boy. This is a really nice
This looks
here.
like a Trotsy machine right
this
here.
This does. And this color, too. I like that brown in there. I think that's really nice. Are these leather?
No.
No.
No. It's
pleather?
Just yeah, kind of a pleather.
Kind of a pleather.
It's it is seat covered, so you don't have to worry about moisture or anything soaking into the foams.
I want to turn the lights on. You guys have the key on?
Yes, sir.
Whoa, look at that. That thing looks... Can you see that, Scotty? Dang, girl. Dude.
And this does have the unlocked and locked rear end.
This has that same capabilities?
Yep.
Oh, so your dimmer is right here. You have to do that on your own.
Yep.
Like you do in your car, but
yeah.
My wife's car has it where it does it on its own. It's annoying because it doesn't turn it on right away.
Yep.
Fancy cars.
Yep.
Well, this is a nice one too, and a couple of sleds. ATVs, you guys still have quite a few of those in stock too right now?
We've got this premium here with the plow on it already, ready to go. We got a base 450 behind you, or yeah, 450 power steering actually. And then we got a touring model, so a 2-up model sitting over here.
We'll have to look at that one because that's what you mean by the specifications.
Yep.
Of that's an actual 2-up.
Yep, this green one there, that's just for one person. If you walk through here, this is going to be specifically designed for 2 people. So it's got power steering, it's got the second seat here. So Matt can sit here and his wife can drive.
And eat Taco Bell.
And eat Taco Bell.
Exactly.
And again, you can add a bunch of accessories to these too.
You can add a pile of accessories, cargo boxes, winches, plows. You can pretty much add winch and plow to pretty much any model.
Okay. Wow. So I mean, that just goes to show you. So we kind of, the point of today's show was to talk about accessories that you can add for fishing, for hunting. We've seen a lot of that, and there's a lot more that if somebody wanted to come in, they could look through a book or go online or something like that, look at other accessories that may not be here. But a lot of that stuff is it readily available for the most part?
A lot of it is, yes. Yes, there's a few things that are on back order and been in back order for a while, but
Yep.
a lot of it is in stock. If we don't have it, Polaris has it.
Polaris
and
has
we
it.
can get it in usually a couple days.
Okay, very nice. So if you're looking for something like that, but the other thing too is it just kind of shows you the world of, you know, ATVs, UTVs here that Sportomotive has, and how versatile some of these units are. If you're looking for like a workhorse, like this unit here had the work button, right? Wasn't that?
Yep.
Where physically, if you're looking to do a lot more work with it, this one is maybe the unit for you. If you're looking for something a little faster and you just want to go play, you know, we have some units here as well. Plus, a ton of snowmobiles in stock right now as well.
Yep, we got a few sleds left yet. We'd like to move those by the end of the year here.
So that was kind of, I didn't want to put you on the spot again, but I like doing that. Is there going to be some special pricing coming up or anything like that?
There are a few rebates on ATV side-by-sides right now.
Okay.
Sled stuff, I haven't seen anything as far as rebates go.
Well, the season just is getting
It's just starting, yeah.
Right. Okay. Nice. Well, very cool. Again, I don't know, I'm not seeing, or are you still allocation for North Star models? Are there still allocation for North Star models?
So I'd have to look. We do have a few North Star models coming in. Crew cabs for sure. I think I've got 2 of those, and I'd have to see on a regular 3-seater.
Okay.
Coming, but give me a call.
That's Bob again.
Oh.
Yep.
Give me a call. I can look that up.
He says, want players to come back out with fleet pricing. Think that will ever happen? That's a player's question.
That's a player's question. I'd hate to say yes or no to that. I don't know. That's tough. So
is that like if you buy more than one, you got better special pricing?
Mainly businesses.
Well, right, yeah.
Like
a lot of the guides that are using these day in, day out, needing more than one model of it.
Yep.
Very nice. Well, so here's the deal, anybody. Like, if you have any extra questions, you can definitely reach out to Sportomotive. So, website and phone number.
Phone number 920-734-9994. Sport-o-motive sport-o-motive.com.
And you have, usually there's really good pictures on there.
Yep, all our website is updated. As soon as we get something in, we'll put it up on the website. We've actually even started putting stuff on our website before we get it, so people know what's coming.
Yep.
So if you see something on the website that doesn't have an actual photo of the machine, that usually means it's not here yet and it is coming.
Okay.
If you do inquire on it, we'll let you know, yes, we have it, or it's on order. And there's always projected dates of when we'll see the stuff, but there's never anything set in stone, and I don't tell anybody that it's when it's going to exactly be here until it's here.
Yeah, right.
So, because you never know with shipping these days.
And is it like if it is that exact unit you want, you better get in here because who knows when the next one like that will be coming in.
Yep. I mean, especially North Stars. You know, I've got a few of them on order. If you want one of those units, get your name on it, because if not, you know, we just ordered them last week, and I wouldn't anticipate them being in stock. I would anticipate them being sold before we even get them.
What about, this is something I just thought about, what about like food plotting type stuff? Do you guys have access to that, like spreaders?
I know we did. I'd have to look back in the book. I don't remember seeing it in the new catalog.
Okay.
But there's definitely, if you are interested, I can definitely do some digging.
Checked into that,
Yep.
because that's a big thing too, and a lot of ATV, UTV used for food plotting.
Right.
There was even like, not cultipackers, but you know, diggers and stuff like that.
All
you
sorts
get
of
for the
different
back
things.
on the hitches.
Yep.
And do all these come with hitches built in?
All of our Ranger and ATVs, Generals do. The Razors do not.
They do not.
Yep.
Okay. And it doesn't pay to add one to something like that either.
It's really not designed for it.
Right. Trailers. You guys sell trailers
We
here?
sell trailers.
Have access to trailers?
Yep. We've got all that here. We've got a few left in stock right now.
Okay.
So there again, it's been a limited quantities of what we could get.
Yep.
So.
Well, cool. So again, everybody, if you have any extra questions for Sportomotive, find them on their website, sport-o-motive.com. The phone number again was
920-734-9994.
Very reputable place. We love Sportomotive. We've come to you guys for a lot of questions. You guys are so grateful to have us at a show like this. I think the next one we'll have to do is when we get, February time after boat show, start talking boats. It's that time. I mean, get your units in for electronic upgrades, services, all that kind of stuff.
All the fun
now
jazz.
is the time. Do not wait till March when the Fox River opens up.
Because then we're busy.
Because then you're busy. Well, and if the way the weather's working here in Wisconsin now, I mean, if you're that person, you can take your boat out potentially in a week or two if
we don't
it
know.
opens up. Right.
Exactly.
So now is the time.
And there will be people out there if that opens up.
Because you guys winterize everything here too, right?
Yes.
And then you don't have storage on site.
We have storage, but it's not on site. We have another warehouse.
You have another spot. So again, if it's any boat related stuff, talk to BJ and the crew here at Sport & Move. They love to help you out. But if you are looking for a sled or a ATV, UTV, man, I hope we showed you. There's a great selection here, and there is the world is endless on what you can do to these units.
Pretty close, yeah.
So cool. Well, we appreciate everybody watching. Again, hopefully you made it to your destination safely today. Do travel safely. I think the weather's supposed to kind of warm up here in Wisconsin, where maybe the roads will get a little bit better, but things are still slick. Just give yourself a little stopping distance. Be really safe out there. Don't get in a fender bender. And we appreciate you watching. I don't know what we're doing Friday yet, but we'll be live again Friday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time.